guys, it's Bok. Hope you're doing well. We've not long came off our stream. We've done 2 streams where we've been testing the new units. And I just wanted to show you guys. So we've started at 4400, and while we were testing the new units, we fell. We fell a lot. And it's fine, because we tried quite a few different variations of the builds. Some to some success, some not so much. But as you're going to see, towards the end, we found the sauce. And it is good. I will show you guys exactly what I've been running. And I will give you guys some of my thoughts on the new units. So let's get into it. Now, I'm going to start with Diting. Because if I'm being honest, out of the 2 units, he's just better. And it's not even close. So, what we're running on Diting is double defense right side with F accuracy. Now, the reason we're doing that is he needs defense to scale with his Sanctum buff on the S3. The more defense he has, the more damage you reduce while you have the Sanctum active. And F accuracy is also super important on him because he's not a damage dealer, he's a debuffer. And without F accuracy, you're not going to land the debuffs. And yes, we did try crit damage Diting. And we did win a couple of games with it, but it was not the best. Now, we're running him on Jackal, and we have defense with speed and gaze. The reason we're running gaze over things like insight is insight drops off, whereas gaze ramps the longer the games go. And Diting is the type of character that wants games to go long. Reducing your damage kind of tells you that. He wants the games to run for a little period of time. Or a long period of time, as you might see in some of the replays I'll show you guys. So, I found him really strong when paired with certain units. And those units are Solance for the damage reduction on her shield when paired with him. Also, because a lot of the time people will run things to try and cleanse, such as Aya, and Solance just shuts her down. Another strong unit to pair him with is Ling Luo. Ling Luo is very strong with him. The reason for that is when you put the S3 up and you get the Sanctum buff, Ling Luo can just extend it, so you basically have Sanctum active the whole time. Now, those are the 2 main units that I found specifically paired with him are good. There's a lot of other units that, don't get me wrong, they work with him, but those 2 just seem kind of another level with him, if that makes sense. And what's strong against him? Bulwark is pretty strong against him, just as an option. Veronica is pretty good into him most of the time. The reason for that is Veronica runs Bulwark on most builds, and then she can just yoink the damage reduction, and now her whole team has damage reduction and a Bulwark. If you can survive past that, though, then he becomes pretty good in Veronica, because you can start resetting her cooldowns pretty frequently, because she doesn't really build into F-res. Holden, if ran on Bulwark, is pretty good into him. Strippers, CC is pretty good into him, unless you run Bulwark. So that brings me to my next point. the two builds that I would say are probably the strongest for him at the moment. Now, keep in mind, we tried a lot of stuff from Halloween to Artisan to Jackal. Um, are probably Jackal with Swift, Bloodbath, Swift, or Jackal with Bulwark, Bloodbath, Swift. And there's reasons to run both. But at the end of the day, I think it comes down to preference, which one you would rather run. If you can get away with not running the bulwark on him, then Swift's better. If you're running into certain matchups where you need the bulwark, then Bulwark's better. But because I'm pairing him with Ling the Woe so often, this just works better for me. Now, Nevette. So, I think everybody came into this, myself included, expecting Nevette to be this CC damage dealer, and she's not. She's just a CC character, essentially. Now, the build I've been running on her is double F accuracy with HP. We're running a HP piece on her. We're not running attack. Now, I have tried double FAC with attack, double attack with FAC. I've tried a few things. We've tried different shells, we've tried Sword 7, and they just kind of weren't great. So, what I started doing towards the end of the day was I switched her over to more of a utility CC pick in the Bruiser draft. And what I mean by that is I was picking her on 4 and 5 when I've already seen most of the draft. So, and she works there. Because in the Bruiser matchup specifically, block is a really, really valuable debuff. And having Petrify, just a farm of CC, it's nothing amazing, but in the right spots, she works. Now, is she this amazing unit? No. But she's okay. Where you can pick her, she works. Now, for CC specifically, in like a CC cleave type thing, again, she's okay. She's nothing amazing. She's just another option for players. I actually think she's probably better as just that last pick utility in the Bruiser draft at the moment. Because you've got block, which is really valuable, Petrify, which is just a CC on both the S3 and the S1. And then if you need it, you've also got a strip on S2. In terms of her damage, you don't really mind. It's not really what you're taking her for. Now, if I was to rate them on a scale of 1 to 10, we'll start with Diting. So Diting being like Raymary Giga OP type levels. Right now, I would probably put Diting at around a 9, maybe a 9.5. He's just loaded. He has a very strong buff that's unique to him. He has a very strong debuff that's unique to him. Slow is also very valuable. He has a 2-turn taunt, so a 2-turn CC. I don't think 2-turn CC should be in the game, period. We've seen what it was like with Casio. But at least this one's on a long cooldown, and it's only targeting one unit. So then there's his S1, which also has the chance to extend cooldowns. And it all just works so well together, especially when you're on gaze. Because the longer the game goes and the more turns happen, the more F accuracy you have, and the more you're just going to keep landing these cooldown increases, landing your debuffs, and you just outcycle them. And it's kind of disgusting. So I would almost say he's a must pull. Now, Nevette. Nevette, I would say, right now is kind of in the Nahor boat. And what I mean by that is I recommend you pull one copy of her. And the reason for that is we're coming up to the end of the season. There's only, 16 days left. You could even wait on Nevette till we see what the season balance changes are going to be, because her banner's still going to be here for the new season. Or it should be. Anyway. And because you don't want a massive buff to happen, like happened to Nahor, to happen to Nevette, and you not have a copy. But what I would say is you probably don't need to lattice her right now. You could hang fire on that. Save the lattices. Put them into the ting. But I think she's okay. I would give her maybe a 5 out of 10. Just okay. She works, but she's nothing special. Now, I'm going to go through... I have 3 games to show you guys. And all 3 are with the ting. One is kind of in that scenario I was talking about, where I pick her as a last pick, just as a utility type thing. Now, I'm going to talk about the games before I go into them, just to tell you a little bit about them, and then I'm probably going to be quiet and just let the games play out. So, game 1 at the top is against the Veronica and the Raymarie. Pretty scary draft. They don't have much in the way, or any in the way of sustain, outside of the Veronica shielding. So, the game starts pretty poorly for me, in all honesty. Spoilers, the Veronica steals my Fushu's immunity, and then she gets hold and reset. So we're effectively playing the game 3v4. And we still win. Game 2 is just damage reduction on another level. So as I was saying to you, Solence, Ling Luo pair fantastically with Diting. But if you're running a comp like this, it's going to be a long game. I'm telling you that now. Effectively, they just couldn't kill anything. We have too much damage reduction, and we also have the healing. And game 3 is just where there was an opportunity at the end of the draft to just take Nevette or any form of CC, and as long as they don't have a good enough cleanser, you win the game. If they don't ban the CC. So I'm going to run through and show you guys these. So that'll be it from me. And I will see you guys in the next one. Enjoy the replays.